Hello, how y'all doing? What's going on? One more time, let's drop some truth bombs, I like to call it. Real quick, 7 minutes maybe. Boom, there we go. Question today is how to know the best career that best suits your nature. Because everybody is so unique. Don't let anybody ever fool you and say that, oh, they know what's best for you, or this is what you've all done for generations. That you need to do that too. Otherwise, your karma, all kinds of stuff. Don't let anybody bamboozle into that shit. But it takes one thing. That's what makes it very, very obvious. That's part of the thing that actually makes one want to know exactly what one's gift is. And what is this gift? Well, we're all unique. We are all so unique, and that's beautiful, by the way. It's not something to be ashamed of. In fact, I'm very, very much. Uh, I'm so into this belief thing, like this individuality thing. You have to know your own individuality. And sometimes you have to be very stubborn as fuck hmm to be yourself because every archetype has a shadow huh, and a strength, just the way things are. There are 13 of them. Those who have been following my work, who know what I'm talking about, they can see it. Okay? 13 types. Depending on your type, for example, let's say like you're like a Zeus type, the king, the leader, the one that's an emperor, empress. The positive side is they're very ambitious, obviously, a king, right? They know what they want. They often know how to get. They often have an instinct how to make it happen. It may not happen, but they have an instinct generally on how to get there. The shadow, though, is let me try to this thing here. My hat. I have to keep this natural. Okay. So, in terms of your own individual, so the Zeus personality type, right? He or she they tend to be addicted to power. It's like they don't know when to let go, when to allow. They always want to be in charge. They kind of fear about it. It's almost like power driven. Like I have to be the most powerful person in this room. If not, I could die. Literally, that's what it feels like to them. And you could make fun of them, be like, "Come on, dude, or woman, why you feel like that? Power is not that important. You can live without it." Guess what they'll tell you if they haven't done the work of healing, spiritual work, kinds of stuff. They're gonna look at you like you're crazy. They're gonna be like, "You don't want power?" They can't get it. That's part of what I've noticed about humanity. Everybody looks at other people from their own archetype, and that's one of the biggest mistakes I have seen. One of the biggest mistakes. Because to look at somebody and say that's how they should be, like you, that's what I call lack of. That's very disrespectful. People think being disrespectful is about calling somebody names and stuff like that. No, whenever you say somebody has to live life the way you prefer it or how you like it, you're disrespecting them. You may think you know better, right? We all think we know better, right? But when we open our mouth, we realize that when we talk to the person, we ask questions sometimes. And I'm probably guilty for this. Just keep talking. But when I ask questions, I'm like, oh, that's why this person is like this. It's so obvious to you. You can see it. You can say, wow, no wonder. Even if you were to trace to their childhood, you see exactly where the trauma started, how they got to where they are, and why they're behaving the way they're behaving. It ceases to be a mystery. It's still everything is still a mystery, but enough of that person will be revealed that you can begin to understand. Or somebody once told me, understand, whatever the word you use. I think the difference is understand is standing under somebody. Understand is to actually go to where they are and see the world from their perspective. So I think there's some truth to what that brother was sharing. I think he said better to use understand as opposed to understand. Because to understand somebody is still to be under. You could still miss it because you're under them. You're not still looking at it through their eyes. You're not seeing life through them. So I think there's something to say about understanding as opposed to understanding. The depth of it. Because understanding is beautiful. At least you're trying your best to see where the person is coming from. But understanding is pretty much you're actually seeing it from their eye. But that takes a lot of presence. A lot of presence. It's not what a lot of people are willing to do. Or open-hearted and or open-heartedness. But you just said the person, tell me about you. Wow, that's what it felt like. Generally, women are better at this, to be quite honest. I feel like understanding is more of a feminine thing. You be to empathy. Literally, you feel their pain. I feel like understanding and knowing is more like a masculine thing. And those of you that are offended easily, those people that are offended saying, "Oh, you see, putting men and women," masculine doesn't mean you're a man or a woman. Masculine is just mental aggression. So it could be a woman in a woman's body and still be mentally aggressive, very intellectual, very heady. Somebody who's feminine might be a woman or a man, but some of them are receptive. That's why if you look at it, the mystics, the careers whereby people have to be more feminine, like a poet, mystic, even a shaman to some extent, to a large extent actually. A mother, right? Even a king has to have some feminine side, right? Maybe that's the reason why king sit on the throne in the mother's lap. She's like, look, motherfucker, you're on the hot seat. Be present. Do what you gotta do to assist your people to grow to the maximum that they can. Hmm? So based on your personality, you're gonna have certain tendencies. It's just the way it is. You can't help it. It's the way we are. What to do? Certain tendencies. The plus and the negative. Right? What to do? You can't say, oh, I only want the positive of this archetype. No, you're fucking around. Because why? The negative is there, and what you call the negative, what people call the negative, is often not bad. Maybe I make another video that people tend to think of negative as bad. No, negative just means the unseen. That's all. It doesn't mean bad. Somebody can really be very generous in their shadow, in their shadow. They go, oh, I'm actually pretty jealous. That generosity originally was their shadow, what they weren't aware of. So people tend to think positive is about greatness. No, the positive can actually be the negative, can be the shadow. As long as it's not seen, even if it's a good thing, you can see it. So you weren't told how good you were, your parents didn't love you. Your potentiality, you may not be aware of it. Another way to look at negativity is that. So I tell people, don't be afraid to look at your negativity. Why? Because oftentimes you may find the beautiful things in there. If you don't look, you don't know about it, right? So one of the ways to really know about one personality type is to do the personality test. Whatever way, if you don't know how to do it, you can reach out to me through YouTube or Messenger if you're my friend on Facebook, same name, Oluwa Adams-Oyenuga, or you can text me. Maybe I should stop doing this phone thing because I'm getting weird messages these days. Oh, fuck it, I keep doing it for now, unless it gets too weird. So 510-240-2322. You can text me. If you're international, do it on WhatsApp, obviously, for international purposes, right? Find your personality type is key, honestly. Without it, life is not worth living. There are 13 types: the king, queen type, the intellectual, the scientist, the philosopher type, the nurturing. Find your core, the primary one for you. That's going to affect almost everything in our life. The kind of people that are able to be around us. For example, in case of me, some people find it hard to be around me, not because I'm bad or evil or because they're evil. It's just too much clash. It's too different, too difficult. So I say, people that don't get along with us, we don't always have to throw them in the trash. We can just say, personalities don't match. It's a very intelligent thing to say. It doesn't match. It's too different. Too different. So people are very organized by nature. They're on time. They plan. They do everything. They're very good at it. People like me, the more Mr. type, planning is not our strength. So for them to be in our life, we have to reach an agreement that I'll do my best to plan better. Why may I always feel? Because they're archetype. They're good at it. And for them to say, oh, you're the mystic. Okay, where's the strength? Where's the shadow? Because each type has its shadow. But the mystics, the gift, are they're able to see, they're able to like commune with the other side. It's much easier. The more everybody has all the archetypes within them. There's always one or two or three that are primary. So if somebody who has a primary mystical, the main advantage is you can commune. You just open. You're already open naturally, very open. So that's where you're being your heart is open. So things will flow in. Intuitions, ideas. The downside is what I would consider sometimes laziness. That's too cruel. It's not really laziness. It's less of an impulse for so much action. That's why sometimes some mystics are very brilliant, or even artists, musicians, artists, great creative minds, novelists. Nobody might hear about them all their life. They die, they find their painting. because the move towards action often is less in some people. Not that they can't act. I can be very busy. You think I'm an action person. But after 6 hours, I start wanting to like go sit somewhere or not do so much of that external stuff. Imagine somebody who's more like a warrior type. They can work 20 hours a day. They keep going and going. Nothing wrong in it. Again, positive and negative. People who are very active, the downside, they don't want to stop. When sitting and being mystic, not doing shit, just being present is what they need. They keep doing and they create much more evil. Make sense? So the career that's the best for you is always the one that's best fit. And if one can somehow manage to make money, to earn money doing it, you're in heaven. What else is heaven? You present, whatever you're doing, that natural, right? The way you behave, and you get paid for it, that work becomes your spiritual practice. How beautiful. How fantastic. Yes, so I don't want to make the video too long, so I'm going to keep it as short as possible, but message me and reach out. We can work on this, how to find your personality types. Otherwise, you can do it yourself. Again, if you have a psychologist, somebody who knows, you can take the test with them. But make sure somehow they show you the shadow and the strength. What people often do is they show the shadow only, not the strength. No, you got to do both. Then you can see it. For presence. What is same presence is mastered. Maybe not totally, but somehow lights on it now. And you can start seeing, wow, this is it. I'm so arrogant, I'm so lazy. Whatever it is, but no longer from a resentment or guilt or regret. You just accept it's part of the deal. What to do? What to do? Find that personality type and then begin to walk towards or run or fly. Again, depending on your type, to your destiny. Because your destiny doesn't mean that it's in the future. Every day you can be in touch with your destiny. How do you do that? Find a personality type. Try to spend a few minutes every day doing it, or at least once a week. And if you can plan it, if you can somehow manage to turn it into a career, you're blessed. You're very blessed. What a blessing. As long as one doesn't forget the source of it, the presence, one keeps doing the spiritual work. Because that can also be forgotten. One can start feeling so natural. I'm such a manifestor. You're forgetting about the source where it's coming from. So as long as one is present, one is open-hearted, one is moving in the direction that one is naturally inclined to, you're going to get to the goal, to the source, the journey. Yeah, because you're flowing, and there's only one direction. You're all flowing towards source. Call it God, call it Mother, call it whatever. Supreme Self, Supreme Cosmos, or Galaxy, Galactic Mother. Okay? Whatever word, it doesn't matter as much. What matters is the experiencing, at least moving towards it, deepening into it, dissolving into it, becoming one with it. Okay. Love you guys. That's good. 13. That's good. Okay. Love you guys. Blessings. Take care. All the best. I'm going to make a lot of videos, so don't worry. Many more videos. So don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, so that on the button, so that you can be alerted about upcoming videos coming up. Okay? Okay, guys. All the best. Take care. Bye.